We're here early.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
I mean,
well, yeah, it's not
relatively
8 o'clock,
speaking.
surprisingly.
relatively speaking, we're gonna have
Yeah.
one real pissed off viewer who missed the first 10 minutes of this session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we usually end up doing nothing the first 10 minutes. They're not going to miss anything unless they really enjoy our 10 minutes of bantering.
There's
before
only
this.
3 of us in the party, so we're gonna streamline it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only 4 tonight.
We don't
There's
have
no
anyone
Sentinel,
pushing
there's
for the 8 o'clock start time this
Jamie.
time.
They're busy with other things, so we're just gonna
Ugh.
truck on tonight and see where the night takes us. Anything interesting anyone wants to say, or should I go ahead and recap us?
Let's roll.
Evo is this weekend. Have fun.
Ooh.
Oh,
Happy
Evo
birthday,
is this week.
Brendan!
Yeah, he was gonna be a great time. I'm excited to watch.
It's Brennan's birthday.
No,
No, his birthday's in like
it's February.
Happy
February, yeah.
birthday,
Happy birthday,
Brendan!
streamer!
Whoa! It's not. It's so
not.
far past.
Say we are
Several months after that.
Oh God.
say we're almost at I think our 6-month birthday for the Elyssia stream though. Which should be 2.5
6
years.
Yeah. Wow.
This
2.5
May.
years,
Not
that's
really
crazy.
actually if we're in end of June, so never mind.
End of July.
You got me
I just
all
want
messed
this year to
up
be
over here.
over sooner than it wants to be over. But
Oh.
anyways,
Happy Gen Con weekend. Anybody who's going to Gen Con.
Dang, there's a
Happy
lot of
birthday, Brendan!
convention things happening. Oh,
there we go.
I thought I told it to not show non-video participants.
Oh man, stream scuff now.
Oh,
No, they can't even see that right now.
Oh.
get our music in there.
Silly
So-
stream watchers.
All right.
I got confused because the bot showed up.
Yeah,
we're good.
I gotta get my bot in there. You know, that's like 15th bot we've went through in this single year because they
Yeah.
keep dying.
YouTube
Ah.
does not like bots
Nope, not anymore.
playing
They
videos
ruined the
because it
stream.
destroys ad revenue.
The best part is if they just make a bot that I could play MP3s from, I have like a selection of music that would be totally usable, but I haven't really found a good one yet. But anyways,
Hold
Very
on, hard to look
interesting.
this
The
for.
bot is echoing you, Ethan.
it's
Is it?
echoing me.
Oh, it was for a second there. Okay. maybe
Oh,
it was
okay.
just
I
Mike.
didn't,
Never
I
mind.
didn't
We're
hear
good.
that.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay,
Very,
I
it was
gonna
very,
say,
very
Whoa.
subtle. But
That's
okay.
weird if that happens. Anyways, so Elysia's stream. Let's go ahead and recap last week's episode, which was pretty simple. You know, obviously Braska had summoned a whole bunch of undead. He set the association's tower on fire and is basically like, "Have fun, guys," and he pieced. He did knock Jamie down after getting insulted one too many times. Not that it super mattered because Azrael was there to bring him back up, but he left, he departed, and yeah, the party's goal was to save Marilli and Aster from the undead horde that had risen up from the ground and from the burning building, which Dr. Watts was able to get Marilli out pretty quickly with an ability, but Azrael charged into the flames and to save Aster, so he kind of held back from doing it again. Pretty much big conflict, big fight. They Tetra showed up, opened the door, kind of was taking pot shots at zombies and stuff as you guys were fighting. You managed to get Marilli and Aster out of the association in the nick of time as the building collapsed shortly afterwards. Since it got pretty hot in there for a little bit there. I think almost the whole map was covered in flames by the time you guys managed to peace out.
Yeah, we were very close to everything just being on fire.
Yep. So, anyways, you guys made it out, and Braska or Peter kind of was addressing people in the town, informing them that because they were housing the goddess or her reincarnation, an undead army was going to be very upset with them and would appear in 3 days. And if they were more than willing to give the goddess up, that probably wouldn't happen. And then he departed. The party, realizing that, you know, bad stuff is happening, decided to quickly escort Marilli back to an inn, the inn that they had gotten while they were originally waiting for King Alistair to come meet with them, to kind of get her out of the street to prevent any would-be, I don't know what you want to call them, would-be
Vigilante
saviors.
or-
Vigilantes, yeah.
yeah, from trying to save the city. And Tetra went to go and talk with King Alistair to try to get your meeting moved up to immediately instead of in the morning. So we will start our session off. You guys have just arrived at the inn. Marilli and Aster are in tow, and you have taken them up to the 2 rooms that you had procured previously in the day, and have hidden them away in one of them. You guys are kind of all there. Marilli, she sort of sits on the bed, dejected, a bit of shock, not quite sure how to process everything. A lot of emotions, not just with her being revealed that she's possibly the reincarnation of the goddess, but also the fact that her friend from the association, the Sylvanian halfling Hohum, was literally obliterated before her eyes, and everyone's eyes, just mere maybe an hour ago.
Well, it seems like we might have some time if we want to go for the long version of the story instead of the short version.
Who are you addressing there, Darby?
Marilli, predominantly.
What do you mean by the long version of the story?
Well, as mentioned, you are the goddess. Whether you
I-
want to accept that or not is on you.
I'm
That is what
Marilli,
we know.
or whatever your doctor friend thinks I am. I'm not a goddess. I've never been a goddess. I will never be a goddess. That's the fact of the matter.
Well, it does explain quite a bit about magic and just miraculously showing up in some of the other feats you've been able to accomplish in your past.
If a goddess has decided to occupy who I am, that was their choice, and I am not them, and they're just tagging along, and they can leave whenever they want.
Not sure that's how it's going to work.
I'm
I
not
don't
sure
think it's
either.
how it's going to work either.
It's a nice thought, though. Clearly, who you were before any of this, Marilli, chose to keep that part of themselves from you for good or bad reasons. But
Yeah.
who you are now is what matters. Who he sees you are as does not.
Who is that? That man, the guy calling himself Braska. He's not actually him, right? He's just some Yahoo.
We
No,
wish.
he is Braska.
He's the real deal,
He
yeah.
is what this land knows as Braska. Kind of what Darby was getting at with the long version of the story. We can walk you through the whole thing, or we can give you the cliff notes.
You know what? I guess we have some time. Give it to me. What else am I gonna do now? Walk out into the city and say, "Here's your goddess. Have at you," and see what they decide to do. I don't know what I'm worried about more. People throwing themselves at my feet thinking I'm gonna perform a miracle, or people coming at me with swords thinking if they kill me, this is all gonna go away.
Well, neither of those things will happen. We won't allow either of those things to happen. But to give you the rundown, I guess the 3 of us, or I guess the 5 of us, because Jamie and Sentinel are there, they're just comatose. We'll begin to explain that.
Jamie's busy with his work, as per usual.
She's familiar that we were hunting down map pieces for something.
Yeah,
of
you
the sort,
guys,
so-
I think you guys made it known
Yeah,
to them. Or if you didn't make it known to her, probably made it known to Joel, and in some way Joel made it known to her.
Yeah,
Sure,
so I
sure.
think this is the part of the campaign where the camera starts behind like Azrael here, and he's like, "All right, well, we've got time," and then the camera pans to like down his shoulder. He sets a glass of whiskey down, and then it fades to black, and then we have a time skip that's like 6 hours later, and you see Marilli there just doing one of these, and Azrael just sits back, glass and bottle empty, puts it on the counter, and just goes, "So that's the long version."
If you missed it, there's what episode were we on, Brian?
What was last week? Last week was 87, so today's 88.
There's 87
87
prior
different
episodes to
episodes.
catch yourself up on.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, the only change I would make is it's not whiskey, it would be rum. But
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, this
course,
is
of
the
course.
classic.
yeah, so
part
I
of the
would
series
I
where
would
it
let
just-
her know that basically we were bamboozled too into unlocking him, thinking he would be a weapon to set the beckonings, and he tricked us.
That's sneaky
Well,
Braska.
Kind of. I mean, he can stop the beckonings.
Right, but he had another plan, which
Yes,
was to
he
kill
wants to stop them
Marilli
in
all
a very
along,
different way
and-
than how we intended.
and
to.
he's much more nefarious than he had us believe.
Well, he finally showed his true colors. So at least he's that. At least he's finally accepted who he really is. Even if it's
I don't think he has
Yeah.
accepted it. I think he's embracing what he believes is heroism and is doing terrible things to justify his need to be loved.
well, yes, which is who he is at his core.
Sure. I just not sure he's aware of that.
He probably doesn't have the self-awareness, but he's definitely acting the way that he should be instead of pretending that he's someone he's not now.
Azrael, would you have gotten into
Entirely.
some of the religious and historical changes that Branska revealed to you to Marilli, such as some of the information related to him and Anne, the goddess, as well as what you're currently existing in this sort of man-made biodome?
To Azrael, it really doesn't make much difference. Like now, now that he knows, I guess to answer your question, yes, I would let her know everything we were told. To him, it's not like there's any point in keeping it from Merle. If she's not going to accept that she is the goddess, maybe she'll accept that everything isn't as it seems. There's something else going on, and maybe that will be accept that she's literally a religious figure that's come back to life. So kind of explain it in that way or like we can say is you may not believe his story, and that's fine too, but he is convinced that you're somebody of ultimate power. You could have some power, so there is something more going on.
Merle takes the whole story, and we'll say it takes about 3 hours to tell everything in sort of a quick version, focusing on the more important parts. And she processes it for a moment. Aster's also there, so Aster also hears all of this, and is just kind of like, "Oh my god," kind of thing, you know. She's just a little fairy. She doesn't know much, but Merle seems surprisingly content about all of it. And the very first words out of her mouth after you finish, Azrael, after probably 10, 15 seconds of silence, but what feels like an eternity, just waiting for her to respond or react to this information, the first words out of her mouth are just, "Well, I guess Joel makes sense then."
Yeah, it's really put a lot of things into perspective.
It's a lot when you think about it, but the Joel and this Peter, me coming back to life, this whatever the system thing you're talking about is, if it's gonna just bring people back to life, I brought Joel back to life one time, from the time when we first met, and people thought it was some amazing special magic that I had done, and that it was a sign of something, and it kind of just got brushed under the rug because I didn't want it to be a thing. But it really wasn't me. It was something else that was doing it. I guess it really does make a lot of sense. So if I'm to believe all of this, then I'm some strange reincarnation of this Anne woman that, to me, lived thousands of years ago as some all-powerful god figure. But to these Archons or Joel or Peter or anyone else, she's just some dumb girl that has been granted some very special powers by the system. And now I just happen to have the exact same ones.
I think what's important, really, is to realize that what other people may put on you, regardless of the power that you have, isn't important. Even who Anne was isn't important to who you define yourself as. Even if by biologics you are the same person as Anne, you became a different person when Anne chose to withhold herself from you. You are Marilli. You are still Marilli. Regardless of the power bestowed upon you, you can choose to act in whichever way you want to. One thing I think this group, I feel strongly enough to say, because I think this group will agree, we are not giving you up to Peter.
No.
That is not something we are going to do.
I appreciate that a lot. I'm glad that you haven't at least drawn the swords out, though. Do you think that that's a good idea to
Do
not
I,
give me up?
being somebody who's, let's say, dabbled, probably a little bit more than dabbled, but been on the Peter side of things. Um, him presenting that all he will do is kill you to get access to the system to do what we want to do. Um, being the man and the nature we saw that he is, that is not at all where he is going to stop. So we may get what we want out of it initially. He may very well end the beckonings, but what we get in return for that exchange will be far worse than the beckonings we have now. I can't imagine, and this is me knowing full well that not giving you up will cost many people's lives. And I'm not saying losing those people's lives in this town isn't something that weighs on my mind with this decision, but seeing the very little we saw of him, quickly he changed just being near you, there's a lot more wrong with that man than we originally thought, and it will not end with just you.
As sad as it makes me is that I'm not the magic on-off button here. Even if you were to give me up and something didn't change, this system would just bring me back as somebody else. And then he'd be after it all over again. And again and again until there's nothing left. And everything is dead. Or whatever he wants. I don't intend to go down hurt. My whole life was built around being under somebody else. I was born in poverty. My parents were killed. I was taken in by the Servants Guild, though some people might even consider it to be entrapped by them. I spent my whole life perfecting my service and becoming the best that I could be, to the point where I could become the personal servant to the champion of Highwater. Who did that turn out to be? Fucking Joel Stevenson. Someone who doesn't even belong here. And then I got out of that and I started to become my own person, but I was always under his thumb or their thumb. And I don't want that anymore. I don't want to be the half elf that doesn't know. I don't want to be the goddess. I don't want to be anything. I just want to be Marilli. And if that means I have to fight for it for once, then I'm gonna fucking fight for it. Is it bad that I'm saying all of this? And the only person I can think that I want to see right now and tell all this to is Joel himself.
Weirdly, I think he'll be pretty receptive to it.
I almost think he'll be excited.
Probably.
Maybe
I
not
can-
in a bad way, but in just a,
The
hey,
Joel way.
you figured it out way. Yes. His way of spinning everything and trying to make a weird positive out of it. It's frustrating. You know, life isn't positive all the time. Bad things happen to good people. To him. The only reason he's here is because bad things happen to him. But here he is, making a positive out of it. So I don't know what the plan is for Pragla, for this undead army, or for Peter or Braska or whatever you want to call him. But I'm not going down. I'm going to fight him, and I'm going to keep fighting him because it's the only way that I'm going to stay who I am, and that the rest of us are going to stay who we are.
Well, we're certainly,
Glad to see we're on the same
yeah,
page.
we'll certainly be by your side there, that's for sure.
Also, no matter what happens in all of this, I am no goddess, and I don't want any of you to think of me that way. I'm just your friend.
That,
Yeah,
that I
weirdly-
can do.
Weirdly, when you say it, it sounds a lot more genuine when Braska says it.
I can't imagine what he thinks or feels or anything, and I don't know if I actually care. If he's the one who's really brought all this terrible stuff onto this world, that he deserves to pay for it in some way, shape, or form. And I don't know if I'm gonna do it or you're going to do it, or anyone is going to do it. But I'm not going to let him hurt anything else in this world.
I think it's very noble. One thing I will bring up that I think is something to prepare you for when we do face him. This isn't somebody. So ultimate power is something that he would want, yes, but from what we gathered from conversations with him and from his interaction with you as soon as he saw you, this is all far more intensely personal than Braska versus Goddess. He loathes you. I know you don't know him, but he fundamentally loathes you. And so this is a piece to dismantle not only your physicality, but who you are in his mind. So be prepared for this to be very personal.
I've encountered some people that I haven't gotten along with in my life, but they were easy to dismiss. Well, maybe not easy, but you could dismiss them. I've never felt such vitriol or hatred or anger from one single person directed at me in my entire life. It was almost like, to him, I'm the one that had caused everything wrong with this world.
I truly believe he's convinced, and whether it be true or not, he's convinced himself that is the truth.
Well, I say let him come then. And I'll show him exactly who hurt him, because it's not me.
But it will be.
You will be the one to hurt him.
I don't even know if I want that. Because if I hurt him and we don't defeat him or destroy him, or the system just simply brings him back like it did before, what's to say that he won't just come back tenfold? There has to be a different way to fix this.
Well, there are some things he's alluded to, predominantly relating to when he gets ultimate power and severs us from the system, everything from the system.
A lack of magic?
Yes, no more magic, which also means no one can ever come back.
Means no system.
Right, but
which is also a problem.
The only way to do that, which he made clear, was that first you would have to take upon all of basically take on the system as yourself to then have the power to then remove it. And so we weren't very comfortable with allowing him to have all power before eliminating it, because it seemed he'd very easily calculate there would be no need to remove himself from power once he obtained it.
I could very much see that. In your conversations as well, Aster does pipe up as well. Upon hearing that Braska's ultimate goal is to rid the world of magic, you see a very panicked, distressed look come over her as she very quickly goes, guys, hi. I know we're having a very serious
Yes.
conversation right now about, like, apocalyptic end of the world stuff.
That'll be all.
If his plan is to get rid of magic, what happens to the fairy and pixie folk? Supposedly, we are mostly all made up of magic in some way, shape, or form, and didn't exist before, magic was introduced to Elyssia.
If I
From what? Yeah,
recall, it would cease to exist.
Oh, that's not existentially terrifying.
Which also has implications for both Sentinel and Azrael here.
I actually believe what he said is there would be no further fairies, but the ones that existed would, and you can correct us, DM, if I understood that incorrectly, is we would be removed from contact with the system. So things that were created previously, so if something was magically, it would be it'd still continue, but on a biological level, there would be no access to magic from thenceforward.
Braska's words, your gist is correct. They are Braska's words. That is all I will say.
Okay, so we don't know if he was lying, and because there are implications like high water would fall from the sky.
Yeah. I don't think
There's all sorts of implications, and so that's the thing is it may not be an on-off switch. It may just be figuring out what removing ourselves from the exterior system would look like.
If there's
from a much more level head.
If there's no magical beings are in a weird spot, including Dusk Elves.
if you had access to the system, you might be able to manipulate it in a way to where magical beings could have a biological reason to exist, and thus removing their magical need and then eliminating magic. I'm not sure how it would work. Much more highbrow than
This is a little
I'm
beyond us
capable.
currently.
That's beyond me.
At the very least, stopping the beckonings would be our first order. We can figure out the rest of it after that.
Which I may have a plan. No workings for it, but just the idea of a plan more so. Obviously, Braska has absorbed and obtained the power to control the system in some way, which means others could too. If I remember right, when asking him, he mentioned that likely someone like us might not be able to do that. Then again, it's Braska. We don't know if he's telling the truth on that. But someone like, say, the goddess, who's on the same level as him, might be able to absorb the powers he's taken. And now they would have access to the system and be able to change things as they need to.
Yes, in his ramblings, I did make him clarify that if he were to die, like he planned to do to Murilli, Murilli would then have access to the system to do what he wanted to do with it. He very arrogantly said he wouldn't die, but he more or less confirmed that him dying would make the system show itself, so would be available for your plan, Darby.
Yes, we just need to figure out how to absorb his power is the hard part. Because we don't know
What
how
would
he did
you
it.
have me change?
Just what we
For
wanted
one,
him
turning
to
off the
change.
beckoning is the big one.
Yeah.
Oh, just end the beckoning. Well,
And
I mean, if it's a
perhaps
possibility,
making sure he doesn't come back, but that's a
Yeah.
discussion for a future time. Taking him out, or at least removing his privileges, would be a decent safety measure.
I feel strange just outright wanting to destroy him. It's almost like I'm no better than he is at that point. I'm able to do something in the background that can just affect things. No one can change it or stop it or affect it. But at the same time, if I could take away his powers and just make him a guy,
Yeah, mortal.
He's
mortal.
no better than anyone else now.
exactly.
And
Maybe
he's
that
not
would be.
gone. He just can't.
Yeah.
Maybe the
harm
world
necessarily.
doesn't not need magic. Magic's done a lot of good for a lot of people. I mean, Highwater's entire system functions because of magic, and others have used it for many great things, many bad things too, but maybe it's not magic this world doesn't need. Maybe it's some type of higher power that's manipulating things from the background.
We don't have the information on how it all works to really know one way or the other of what is and
That
isn't
is
possible.
certainly a thought.
But it is an idea.
Right. Well, I'm game for almost anything if it means that we have to fight him, fight Braska, just like no down, drag out, drop down fight. Like, we'll do it. If it means we have to be smarter about it, then we'll do that too. I just don't know where to start. Well, maybe with the city. It's gonna come under attack in 3 days.
Yes.
That's another thing I wanted to talk to you about before we get the opportunity to speak to His Majesty. There's a possibility the king and the city don't want to come to your aid. If
It'd
that's
be easier to pick me up.
Yes.
If that's the case, we still don't, and I speak for everyone, so correct me if I'm wrong, but we still don't intend on giving you up. So it'll be a much quicker fight. But you need to be you need to be prepared to run. When we
I
go
will be
down.
prepared to run, but I don't want to abandon Pragla. None of these people have hurt anyone in any way. They're just caught in the middle of all of this.
Yes, but that's not your doing. Just because he put you in the equation doesn't mean you're responsible for what he's going to do.
I know that. It's. I will flee the city if I have to.
Okay.
Me dying again doesn't do anything for anyone. It just prolongs everything out. Who knows when I might reincarnate again and as what?
Well,
be
I don't mean to cut you off or make you feel like that your death won't mean anything because he made it perfectly clear that when you die, I don't think he
That's his
intends to
plan.
allow you to come back.
I guess that would make a lot
So
of sense.
as much
The
as
system-
Pragla, everyone dying in Pragla would be bad, you dying would mean that the entire of Elyssia is doomed.
A good point. Well then, I just can't die then. That's the gist of it.
Not to put all of that weight on your shoulders too, but
It's all right.
It's
I'm
the
gonna
only
look at
reason
it.
why I asked you to run.
I'm gonna look at it in a Joel Stevenson way. He has thrown himself in front of arrows and political people and religious people and has only died once and come back to life. I don't have that privilege, which just means I need to go from his dying once till now, which means he hasn't died and has been completely fine despite all of the boneheaded decisions. And that is what I'm going to do.
No flaws in that logic.
At
whatever
this
works.
moment, there is a relatively firm knock on the door to the room that you've been having this conversation in, and it's been about 3.5 hours since you departed from Tetra, and you can hear a voice from the other end of the door. Guys, you're in here, right?
Ruma's gonna try to break all the tension from the very heated discussion that's been going on, and instead of opening the door, knock back.
What does that mean?
Are you
Yes.
out there?
Yes, I'm out here. I'm talking through the door.
And we are in here.
Then open it.
Ruma, open the door.
Tetra stands on the other end,
I love it.
looking positively frustrated at the at your little prank there, room, and she kind of just looks at you, not really expecting it from you specifically, given your strength and stature and height. But she just shakes her head. But she is not the only one that's there. There is one other who is with her. Jayla, champion of high water,
Oh.
joins her.
You know, I was wondering where she's been. I was actually about to ask something about where she's been. I was just
She
thinking
Captain
about that.
Marveled us. There was conflicts elsewhere.
I had other things to do. You know, space and all that.
Well, I hate to say I was in high water for a bit, and now I am back here. Fortunately, I was intercepted on my travels by a small bird and was able to quickly route myself over here, thanks to Tetra. It's good to see everyone.
Yes, it's a pleasure to see you, Jayla.
And Tetra says, because all my ladies sound the same, and it's probably going to be difficult to discern who is who, Tetra says, even better. You won't believe who else is in the city right now. A little bit of franchising, you could say.
Oh God, is
Oh.
Joel here?
The big
Joel,
J.
Dale, Elise, and Nugs are all in the city, here on a franchising mission, as he
Elise
so claimed.
and Nugs. All right.
I
all
don't
right.
necessarily believe him, but they're standing down in the lobby right now. We just wanted to make sure that you guys hadn't, fled the inn and gone somewhere else to hide, your anonymity and whatnot. So, what have we decided on here? Because I've got some good news and some bad news and some really bad news, but I figured I'd ask you what's going on first.
Oh, really?
And this is where the camera starts from behind Azriel's shoulder.
And it goes
Another
down,
bottle of rum.
another whole bottle of rum,
just
and then
puts
it
it next
says
to the
6
other
hours
bottle of rum.
later, and so that's
Really-
what we were thinking.
Marili confidently says back to Tetra's answer, or
Uh,
question. I've decided to fight. Braska, Peter, the king, anyone, because that's the right thing to do right now. Tetra? Oh, excellent! Well, we have a lot of fighting to do because I have a good news, a bad news, and a really bad news. Which would you like to hear first?
I always love the worst news first.
Yeah.
The worst news first is that the royal castle is currently infested by undead. They've
Oh.
slaughtered the guard and been throwing their bodies over into the moat.
Oh, so the waiting 3 days proposition was a ruse.
I don't know. The palace is racked with undead, and no one is allowed in or out of the palace currently. That's
Fantastic.
the bad news specifically.
That's
very
not the
bad
very
news.
bad news.
No, the very bad news is that the undead have risen and the cats are killing people. The bad news is we can't talk to the king because there's
okay.
undead in the
Yeah, yeah.
fucking palace.
Sure.
Two separate newses. Okay, yeah, got it.
Okay.
That's a good
Well,
one.
the good news.
The good news is that I ran into Jayla.
Kind of figured that one. All right.
I'm really glad you guys are super thrilled with that.
Well, I just figured there was other good news because she had already told us you were here, so we
Yeah.
saw you.
No,
and-
no, not particularly. The good news kind of stops there. So we've got an
He's
undead
terrible
army
at
supposedly
delivering
showing
news.
up in 3 days to siege the city. We have an dead army in the heart of the city, doing whatever it's going to do, killing people, maybe even killing the king. Who knows? There could be no king. We could be completely wasting our time right now. And I don't even know what Pragla's defenses look like at this moment. They've sent most of their soldiers to Dorder
Why,
Just-
Dorder?
2 weeks ago.
We are 2 steps back on this chessboard.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, if he wants to play a game, there's one thing I'm good at.
Losing lots of money at cards.
Oof.
No, finding the
we-
way to cheat the game.
Do we know?
But I don't have
is
that kind of
there-
information yet.
As did you have?
I don't know what the game he's playing is yet, though. Just that he's playing one. Right?
Texas Hold'em.
Do we
He's
know
playing
of any
Guardian
local
Foul
mercenaries
Chess.
group? Does anybody know the city well enough to know any militias, military groups? Other because you said the guards either at the castle or most of their guards gone. So is there any like rogue faction we can enlist the help of? Or are we on our own here?
Tetra says this. Well, Captain Desmond is the lead of the armies of Pregla. He'd be the guy you'd want to talk to see what's left over. I can assume with Peter or Braska making a big statement about an attack happening in 3 days, he's probably already trying to figure out his plan. But I don't think there's going to be enough men in the city to defend it, unless you're going to start equipping the elderly and children with pikes and spears to fight against the undead.
I would recommend it because the
I would
undead
also-
don't care.
Recommend it.
Yeah.
Marilli states this. Well, there is Arnak from the association. I don't know what happened to him after the tower collapse, but if he's still around and in, I guess, decent shape, he might be able to convince some of the mages to help us. This is their city, after all.
And he did just torch their tower.
They got a good reason to fight. Beyond just protecting their own city.
And
not
the fact
dying.
that Braska wants to eliminate magic.
Yeah. Kind of hard to study something that doesn't exist.
That's a pretty big one. All right. So that means we have a Desmond to talk to and an Arnak to talk to. What do you think all of you can bring to the table? Obviously, we're all quite the skilled fighters. But we can't fight an undead army.
Oh,
Well, we can.
For yourself.
Ruma's
mean,
done
we
a good job
can.
at holding off undead armies all by himself.
This also assumes that Braska himself doesn't attack the city.
As bad as it might be to say, I feel like if there's no Marilli, there will be no Braska.
As funny as it
That's
sounds,
what he wants.
Yeah.
And if she's not here, why would he be here?
What do you propose then, Darby?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm proposing. It is. I do think that will be the case. I don't think he'd want to waste his time not finding the goddess. If he can spend it finding her, he might as well spend it finding her. If she's not around, why would he be here? It might be better for her to leave, but I mean, she
The only
can
thing I
hold
would
her own.
Right, and the only thing I would fear with that strategy is he would
Now
then
she's
be
away from
getting-
us, and we don't know where we can't.
Well,
make sure.
that's true, but my thing is if he decides that killing innocents would lure her back, he could then just begin killing people to make her out herself, rather
That's true,
than
too.
just
Might
hiding.
make
It's
things
trying
worse.
to plead to her morality. Which he's clearly not above doing, trying to make a city up against her. I'd love to say I have contacts at the ready to fight, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Unless Sentinel has a chicken army at the ready.
Sentinel perks up for a moment. Well, They did tell me at the Temple of the Guardian Fowl that now that I'm an official Guardian Fowl, I could summon the Council of Chickens.
You know, maybe it's
Gotta
time.
get to a mountain.
Yeah.
Are you trying to tell me we're going to summon a chicken army to fight the undead?
Why not? I mean,
We've done stupider things.
yeah.
Yes, we have. Okay. That's a plan. Sentinel
I don't know how good of a plan it is, but it is a
talks to
plan.
the Council of Chickens to get an army.
It's a thing.
It's
Don't worry.
better than nothing, because Dorder is a week and a half trip away. There's no way they'd be here in time. Even if they sent a message now, it wouldn't even reach them before the siege happened.
Where is the Order of Kalis headquartered?
That you don't know. They're very nebulous.
The other
I was
question,
Even in
thinking
their
about that,
ranks,
too.
and I don't know anything.
another question I have, and it's for you, Darby. You personally happen to know somebody who's not a real big fan of Mr. Braska. I know you're not on his best of terms, but he does own a company of soldiers. It may be in his best interest to the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You could make a call.
I mean, that implies I know how to make the call still.
Well, your new friend is related. She could call on your behalf, perhaps.
I
Just an
suppose.
option.
I don't know if she ever has.
Just putting it out there.
I suppose that is another option. I don't know if they'd go. Oh, they even. Oh, actually,
They made our life a living hell trying to get onto that rocket.
yeah. I was thinking, kind of just going all 900 miles in my head as I do sometimes. Can they even get here in time? But then, Gamar got there in time with way more people than ever expected, without any like sign of that happening. So it is possible. But who's to say that maybe he doesn't side with us? And now we're just inviting a three-way fight that is not helpful for anyone.
Viva la resistance. Revoluciones.
I'm just saying it would add another gear to the just
It
throwing
would,
out
it would,
ideas.
yeah. Throw another wrench in the works.
I would like to call Fredrickson.
Does not answer.
Oh,
Damn.
he's so unreliable.
I know.
I know.
Always.
That
He's
guy.
just busy being a dragon, I'd like to
A
call.
dragon in another dimension.
I'd like to call Meepo to ask him to drangle Fredrickson so he can bring
Oh my
Fredrickson here.
god, the crossover episode, part 2, Jimmy
Meepo.
Neutron and the Fairly Odd Parents.
The Meepo Fredrickson episode. That would be a fucking treat.
That would be such a wild ride to have a Meepo ride in.
It's gotta
on
happen in the
Fredrickson.
epilogue at some
It's
point.
gotta happen.
That has to happen now. We have spoken it into the world. That's canon now. I don't care. Oh man.
Well, it sounds like we have some interesting ideas between the army of
Yes.
chickens, Darby's mystery army, and
Sword
whatever
and shield
Desmond and
type of thing?
Arnok have.
Well, do we want to start with the ones that are the closest or the ones that are the farthest?
Well, I think we could probably accomplish all, because I think Sentinel's got to get to the top of a mountain, so he's got to move quickly.
Whatever
But-
the
Well,
closest one is.
They did say the mountain was near Pregla. I think it takes about a day and a half to get there, though.
Well, it's still half the time.
Split the party.
And you can get
If
back before
Sentinel
everything
leaves
happens.
now, we could send somebody with him. Maybe Jimmy will go there to protect him, and then we
Yeah,
can...
he can navigate twice as fast through cities too.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So we
And
can
then
get
the
out of
three
the
of us
city
can
twice
go
as
talk
fast.
to the city people while Darby reaches out if he chooses to.
See if we can get some contact.
I'd be willing to leave right now if I needed to. I can go talk to the chickens whenever you need.
Sooner than later.
Go.
Jamie's
and-
just like, I guess I'm gonna go talk to some chickens, guys. Oh, this is completely jacked up. I don't care. I'm going with him.
Perfect. Let's go talk to some city guard and some weird wizards.
All right. Before you go, Darby, you can kind of feel a tingle on the back of your head, kind of giving you a little bit of a jingle bell that someone wants to talk to you.
I guess I will respond to the jingle bell with my own
Knock.
jingle bell in the back of
Yes.
You may talk to Lilith if you would like. A
Yeah,
door opens
Lilith.
to you.
my mind.
Opens to all of you.
I'm going in.
If anyone would like to pet the cats, there are a
Ruma
lot
doesn't
of
even
them.
wait for the invitation. He walks in that door.
Now let us remember how Ruma didn't even come with us to get you, your patron.
Yes.
And
Literally,
now how
when
eager
I'm not
he
doing
is to
this,
He was on guard duty.
if
go.
if anyone would like to join Ruma in petting the cats, there
I
are
will
many.
I will move
As-
forward into the
As
hole.
you enter Lilith's domain, you see a sea of cats before you. They kind of are just shuffling at your feet, rubbing their faces and bodies against your legs. They attempt to impart their scent upon you and or groom themselves. You're not quite sure. It might be both.
Ruma just T-posing on the floor, letting
As
go.
all the cats are just rolling
Just,
around on you.
Doing a snow angel in all of the cats.
I have to say, he's absolutely adorable when he does that.
It
He's
is-
almost as cute as my little Darby.
It is quite interesting to see him just have the greatest time playing with cats.
So, like usual, I have been eavesdropping.
I suspected as much when you rang the bell.
So I'm smelling that you need an army
Potentially.
and another special little thing that I've been thinking about trying with you, Darby.
Okay.
So first off, yes, I can get us a meeting with Gamar whenever you're ready. Just gotta ping the old uncle and catch him when he's not in the hot tub.
Oh, that might be harder than it seems.
Yeah, he doesn't wear
Can-
pants in the hot tub. It's really gross.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. The water level's always really low. You know how you were there.
I'm well aware. It's
Yeah.
kind of disgusting.
But anyways, Darby, you're sending your friends off into the unknown to summon an army of chickens.
Into the unknown. Into the
Yes.
unknown.
Yes. Well,
How would you like to go with them?
kind of need to be. Well, I guess I could be with either of them. It doesn't really matter. But
How would you like to go with them and still help Azriel and Ruma with what they're doing?
it would be very efficient.
So, you remember the whole Cyrano you thing, how you're
I'm-
splits?
Yeah, I was born and
Splitsies?
then split into two people, and that was a whole ordeal. So I haven't really figured out what's going on with that entirely.
Okay.
And what we need to do about that, if we need to do anything about that. Kind of on the back burner.
I can relink you and Cyrano.
There's a lot of things that might go wrong with that.
And the bot died.
Let's go!
It's gone!
It's
Let's
gone!
go!
It wasn't allowed
let's
in the
try to
list
get it back
dimension.
here.
It's not allowed
I
in
just-
the list dimension. That's okay.
It's not allowed in Lilith's
This
dimension.
dimension, yeah.
It'll come back
It's
when
a
we leave.
dog bot. It's not a cat bot.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah,
banished.
it's not allowed in,
Understandable.
Chickens are okay, but... Oh, there we go. It polymorphs
But-
into a cat.
That would be awesome. Yes, so after the whole Gamar swapped you guys and I learned about all that, I was really, really interested in how that all worked. Cause that's crazy that
a
you were
lot.
one person and then two people.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
So what I think I can do, because I've been talking with Cyrano and Gamar has been treating him like absolute dookie.
As he
I think
does
I can
with everyone.
rejoin your consciousness and make you one person again in two separate bodies.
How would that? So like,
Would
if I were
Darby
to
know
be
who he
hit
was?
with, say, a bullet from Azriel's gun, would both of us feel that?
Well, that I don't know, but you'd be two separate bodies.
That's a lot.
But one consciousness?
Maybe it might be two consciousness that's aware of what's going on with the other conscious. It could be one conscious. You might have to learn how to multitask really well.
Huh.
It'd be much easier to cheat at cards, Darby.
I was gonna say the same thing.
No, beyond just that, he's the owner of one of the wealthiest companies or one of the joint owners of one of the wealthiest companies in the world. There's a lot of funding that we could get from him.
Then you'd be
Well,
one of
from
the-
me, I suppose. There's a lot going on with that. That's a lot to digest. But, I mean, where even is he right now?
Oh, he's been hanging out here. I fetched him a couple weeks ago.
I mean, I did spend a lot of time in the gambling hall, so that's fair.
Gamar hasn't been super nice to him since your whole little rocket ship ordeal and all that kind of stuff. So he actually reached out to me to talk to you, and I told him just give it a minute, and we'd find the perfect time. And I was like, this is the perfect time to rejoin your consciousness and see what happens.
Well, I've done
I say,
stupider
what could go
things.
wrong? Yeah, what could go wrong?
We've done
It's like my
stupider
two little
things.
boys coming together for the first time.
Oh, second time.
For the first time after being separate. It's kind of romantic, don't you think?
We're
Oh,
the same person.
Could be. Hey, don't shame self-love, Darby.
I don't
Hey,
know if this
hey.
qualifies.
I see everything you see. I know what happens in your bedroom some nights. I know what self-love is.
When I play cards?
Being modest, boys.
Well, you gotta keep the hands ready for the cheating. you know.
Oh, yeah, your
Complicated
hands
sleight
have
of hand.
always been ready, Darby.
Regardless, we've done stupider things, I'm sure. Why not? Why not have a second me in the world? That couldn't possibly be bad.
All right, so we're game to do this?
How long is it gonna take? Not in, like, interdimensional, this dimension time, but, like, in actual time.
Hopefully minutes? That or you'll
Okay.
explode. I haven't quite determined that yet.
Darby
It's
will
nice
reach
knowing
into
you,
his
Darby.
pouch and pull out a coin.
So nice knowing you.
And he'll just flip the coin, calling it in his head, and just slap it down, look at it, put it away, and be like, "All right, let's do it."
All right. Cyrano, we're ready for ya. And kind of another small door forms, and out steps your exact copy again, Darby, as Cyrano kind of makes his way in, and it's like looking in a mirror, except that this mirror is badly scarred and badly bruised and currently missing an eye.
Oh, dang! I'm taking more than just your money, huh?
Let's just say Gamar hasn't been the nicest to me since we departed. The eye was for my failure in Grutters. The scars were for my failures afterwards. And my missing fingers were for my failures that he decided had happened before Grutters. It was everything I could get to get away, and your patron reached out to me.
We'll just take a look at his hand since he said he's missing some fingers and make sure
He's
that he's
missing
still
he-
capable of maneuvering cards through them and stuff.
on his left hand. Absolutely not. The only fingers he has left is his thumb and index finger.
Ooh.
Enough to grab things.
And on his right hand, only his middle finger is gone.
Ooh, make some of the tricks a little harder. But I suppose I could try to do it without it for a little bit, kind of get a feel for
Get one of those fancy assassin blades.
it. Well, that was the ring finger that they got rid of.
It is, but
Until Da Vinci decided, we don't need to do this.
you don't need that anymore.
Yeah,
Just
why would you
shoot
do
it
that's
out.
so dumb. Like just move your hand out of the way.
Yeah.
It really was one of those. It's like, this seems like a cool idea, and then immediately they were like, why would they do that? They can just move their hand.
Cyrano
Not to get on that
kind
tangent.
of continues after you've assessed him, Darby. He says, "In a weird way, seeing you again, Darby, is almost comforting. After being locked in Gamar's dimension for the last little bit and enduring his sufferings, I'm reminded of what I once used to look like before he did all of this. And I don't want to be this way anymore."
It is kind of ironic that of the two of us, the one who didn't grow up with money is the one who's not badly beaten and broken.
Is that an insult? Or are you just trying to rub it in my face?
No, just an observation.
Well, soon it won't matter, because Cyrano and Darby will become one brain, if we're to believe your mommy.
I don't know. Who told you to do that? Was it her? Did she tell you?
I did. I really
Of
like
course
that.
you
When they came up with that, I thought it was
Yeah,
really
when
cute.
Dr.
'Cause
Watts
you're my
said
little
that?
baby.
Yeah, okay. So I do
I
have
have one
one.
test for you, Darby.
I know. I have one more question. I'm sure he's probably asked you about this. Once we reconnect our conscious, how does that going to work with his connection to Gamar?
I don't have a connection with Gomar anymore. He severed it.
That explains a lot, actually.
I've
No?
just endured ever since. I'm as broken as you were when he left you, though maybe a little more physically.
Yeah, not a great feeling. Feels like everything inside of you has been ripped out and there's nothing left.
I don't know what's worse, that feeling, or what having my fingers beaten off by dogs.
Can't say I relate.
Oh, I'm glad. I think you will soon, though. Did you tell him the rub, Lilith? Oh yeah, the rub. So, he's gonna get all of your memories and feelings, and you're gonna get all his memories and feelings. So anything that you've ever experienced separate of each other is gonna reconjoin and act like it's one life.
Is that why I might explode?
Well, maybe, yes. I mean, he didn't explode in his past, but the rushing in of so much consciousness into one physical form might cause rupturing and for you to bleed out your ears.
Of course.
But
never
You're
have it
also
be
going to be
easy.
reminded of that one epic blowjob he had that one time, right, Cyrano? That never happened, but if you'd like to believe that was going to happen, then you're more than welcome to. Damn it! I'm trying to get him to agree!
Yeah, not the route to take.
Well,
But-
what is the route to take then, Darby? My little boy, my little lovely?
Yeah, you're making it harder and harder to say yes. So get it over with before either of us decide to change our minds.
At this point, I have no interest in changing my mind.
I know, you have nothing to lose, I have a lot to lose.
Right. A little bit of the Prince and the Pauper, it seems. Role reversal.
The irony will never be lost on me for this. Or on you, since I guess we'll have the same brain.
Oh, also one other big major thing. Your joint consciousness will cause and allow both bodies to function, but only for a limited time, and then one of you will die.
No offense. I hope it's you and not me.
I
Kind
hope
of need
it's
my
me,
hands
not
the way
you
they
as
are.
well. I really hope it's me and not you, Darby.
Well, I guess we'll see.
All right, great. It sounds like we're agreed. Azrael, agreed?
I don't know why I am agreeing. I'm
Didn't
not
know he was a part of
joining
this.
anybody. I'm just either bearing witness to something very weird or my friend exploding. So I guess yes.
On the flip
Great,
side,
and
if
I'm
you
gonna
don't want to
assume
look,
Ruma's
you can play with the
because
cats.
there's a bunch of cats on him right now and he can't talk. So, all right, Cyrano, Darby, I first need you to hold hands, or hand to nub.
Wait, he still has... We're not talking about Azrael. No
He's got-
offense,
he's got
Azrael.
2 fingers.
He's got fingers, but he still has a hand.
There's no hand. It's not Azrael where his hand is completely gone.
It's nubby enough. Hold it, Darby. God,
Fine.
you always complain.
Well, I guess I will grab his hand.
You grab his hands. Fortunately, the one's more hand-like. The other one, like I said, just two fingers. You kind of
Oh.
hold. You kind of grab the other one like you expected the other one. You kind of just like hold on to like the round part, and his 2 fingers kind of rest themselves on you awkwardly. And it's a very strange feeling and experience to not have like more fingers on you.
Yeah. That, he'll get to feel it in a minute anyways, it's fine.
Okay. Before I do this, does anyone have any last words in case you die?
It's been real, Darby.
It has been. I was really hoping to get a little bit more gambling in, but that's
Ruma's
fine.
just still chilling with cats.
Hooray! Okay, let's do this then. And you kind of see
Mhm.
Lilith begin drawing like a chalk circle around the 2 of you, and she's filling it in and doing all this stuff, and she begins to recite all these different, like, strange magical incantations you can't quite understand or make out. And Darby, as she's doing all of this, like, the circle begins to glow like a faint purple, and you can kind of feel like, almost like your consciousness is like leaving your physical form, and you're being pulled upwards, and you can see yourself and Cyrano and Darby, or not Darby, well, you see Darby, but and Ruma and Azrael, and you're kind of looking down on that, and you look over and you see what you would assume to be Cyrano's conscious, but to you it looks no different from your own. It's identical to it. And you kind of begin to hover towards it and float, and you feel yourself conjoining with this outside entity, almost like it's clawed into your skin and it's slowly ripping your skin up and digging itself inside of you. It's a incredibly painful experience and strangely pleasurable at the same time. But as this is going on, all of these thoughts and feelings begin swirling around your head, Darby. Memories and events of your life that you've never lived begin to come back to you. Your time in Igorith being turned over to the sickle and
Sword?
sword and sickle company. Your growing up kind of under this intense tutelage, being around money and power and pleasure, having kind of Gamar at your side, treating you less like a pawn and more like an equal, not forcing you around to all of these gambling dens and different things to make money, but placing you in a seat of superiority, only for one terrible event to happen that rips it all away, and you're then forced to relive and experience all of the terrible tortures and tragedies that Gamar placed you through. And all of this ends up leading to the moments of you conversing with yourself, a top-hatted, suit-wearing version with cards, not sure what he's looking at, before you realize that your consciousness has conjoined and that you are now seeing double, processing having 2 separate visions, 2 separate feelings, 2 separate lives as one. Yay, he didn't explode! I'm so happy. I was gonna be really sad. I was gonna ask Ruma if he wanted to join a pack with me if that happened,
my
because he really
God.
likes the cats. But he didn't die!
I mean, yeah, you have all access to the cats whenever you wanted. So how strange. Weird feeling.
You're 2 characters now, Darby. Feel free to play both of them.
Yeah. Weird to know what to do with that immediately. I guess first things first. I mean, Darby he carries a few packs of cards. He'll pull one off from wherever he's keeping them, probably one of his packs, and he'll just hand one over to the Cyrano Darby. You're gonna need those.
Darby 2, Electric Boogaloo.
And I will take
I
them.
was just thinking I was going to need one of them. Perhaps I should get myself a hat and a suit as well. Get out of some of these less than interesting threads.
As a note, Lilith,
Yes.
so things like spades and D-kips, I'm guessing he has access to them as well.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe you're the same person now.
I just really thought about them as being more than one entity, so I don't know how that's going to work if I have one out and he tries to summon the same one.
Perhaps we not worry about it and just assume that everything's okay.
Well, good enough for me.
It's like addressing the time travel paradox.
They both have access to it. It's fine. They can both summon it. They're just different
why not?
versions.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, Spades is just a deck of cards, so it's no
My
reason-
my favorite idea is just that, like, when the two Darbys are separate and they're in a battle at one point, Darby one summons Spades, has Spades do something, and then poof, it like poofs off.
Spades
and
just disappears.
Tears off, sorry, and then immediately just like you fighting over the same resources of
And,
like
like-
you send an Eldritch Blast and like it doesn't come out of your finger, then all of a sudden randomly out of the other one.
The blast just comes down straight into the ground because that's where his hands pointed. Oh,
And every
yeah.
time D-Kips comes back, he's just lower on HP for some reason.
Yeah, it's just,
Miraculously, he's taking just
Give
like
me
10
a rest.
damage.
give me a rest.
Please stop teleporting me around.
Nourishment.
I love it.
That is a great. That is pretty funny. Well, we can deal with the clothing thing, I'm sure, on our way to dealing with stuff. Although you're the one who's probably going to be on the road.
You're going to send me then with Sentinel and Jamie then.
I think it'll be more fun for Jamie to try to work this out than having me go.
You
I
gotta give him
love
entertained
that.
for 3 days
I-
of travel.
Do we share like memories now that we're like separate? Do we still
You
share
have
memories?
every memory that Cyrano's ever had, and he's had every memory that you
Going
had. You are
forward.
literally
I think
the
he's going
same
Yeah, like do we
person.
share all of the same experience? Like if he goes with them, do I still know that that's what happened?
You do.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Great.
Currently, Darby, you are talking to yourself and realizing that you are talking to yourself on the other side as well.
Okay, great.
So really, he's talking to us, or
Twice.
he's talking to himself, so that way
We can know
see
what he's
his
saying.
thought
Yes.
process.
Basically,
Yeah. So
Ruma doesn't even give a shit anymore. All this
Ruma's just
wacky
absorbed in the
stuff
cats.
That's
Yeah.
Ruma's outlook on life has been ruined 5
Absolutely
times over
destroyed,
since he
yeah.
joined this group, so
Yep.
he's just enjoying the cats.
That's right.
The one thing in life that's constant: cute cats.
True.
Well, it'll be a lot more interesting for Dr. Watts to piece all of this together and figure out where anything about me has gone in a matter of minutes.
it will be fun. I think. Give him something to think about.
Yeah. And
Okay, good
apologies
talking
to you, Azriel and Ruma, if I just randomly start laughing out of nowhere. It's going to be a great time watching them piece that together.
Fair.
Well,
I'll send my steed so I can do something similar, except for Elk Ogun can't talk.
can he
It'd
communicate
be great
with
to
you?
have. It'd be great to have a whole the party split, and the only one that doesn't know what's going on are Azriel and Sentinel, because they don't have a way to split their conscience somehow.
And Dr. Watts just has seen everything at one point.
That's
Yep.
true.
And he's seen all of time and space and reality.
Anyway,
Yes. Well, I'm glad this worked out as well as it did.
Yeah,
Um,
me too. I was gonna be sad if you turned into a bloodstain on my carpet.
So we also need
It's
to
like
deal
my
with
little
the-
boys have grown up and gotten married.
well,
oh, that's weird.
still the same person.
I know. Doesn't bring me any less joy though.
Weird.
Well, we still need to, the whole Gamar army thing.
Let
We
me
can
know
do
when
that.
you want me to contact him. I'll put a good word in and get you there.
Well, how fast would he get here? I guess.
Oh, he's not gonna come here. You have to go to him. And you see Lilith just point, and a door, the posh door to Gamar's palace appears.
Man, now we're entering into dimensions within dimensions. That's got a whole implication on things. Anyone have a spinning top just to make sure we're in the right place at all times? Do we all want to go? Is that what we're doing?
Oh no, that's all you, man. I want to talk to Lilith about whether or not she's a person from Joel's world or
Or born here?
construct like the rest of us.
Okay.
would
Yeah,
like
you
to hang
guys
with
did
pets.
figure all that out, didn't you?
Yeah, we learned a
I
little
was
bit.
paying attention. I was just way more interested in getting my two boys back together.
That's
Have fun with Gamar,
Yeah.
Darby.
yep.
All right,
I
Darby.
will attempt to have fun with this.
Darby 1 and Darby 2.
Did Darby 1 and Darby 2 go, or just Darby 1?
Darby 1 will go and leave Darby 2 behind to
To make things
so he can
easier,
understand.
Darby 2 has left to join Sentinel and Jamie.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
Can it be Darby and Arby and Arby be just give sandwiches to everybody?
Yeah,
Roast
the
beef
meat.
sandwiches.
Sauce. God
Uh,
damn, now I want an Arby's roast beef.
I know, so do I. and It sounds
Oh
so
my God.
good.
It
You said that-
sounds really good.
That's what I want.
All right, Arby's run.
This
Let's
stream
go.
is sponsored
All
by
right,
Arby's.
we're good. We'll see you later, everybody. We're gonna go
Yeah,
get some.
Yeah,
gonna
we're
get some
getting
Arby's.
Arby's. See ya.
They do have the meats.
They do.
Whatever that means.
They have meat.
Meat.
So your question, so Darby, you've entered Gamar's door.
Yes.
Cyrano Darby has left to join Sentinel and Jamie, and that leaves
Arby.
Azriel and
Yes.
Ruma. Arby.
Okay.
That leaves Azriel
Arby.
and Ruma. And Ruma or Azriel, you had a question for Lilith.
Or Twarby.
Yes, I was just genuinely curious if you don't mind sharing whether or not you're from here or from Peter's world.
Oh, neither. Well, I'm from here technically. Gamar made me.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
he was really interested if he could turn like one of his little creations into them, basically. I don't know why, but he kind of succeeded. I'm able to do a lot of the same stuff he can do, just not at the same like power that he can do it.
Interesting. So you have access to the system, but you aren't. Like
Oh,
an
I don't have
administrator.
access to the system.
I mean, like the magic of the system, like
I have
manipulating things.
I have access to things that make it look like I do.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Interesting.
He's a real sneaky boy, that one.
Yes,
And if Darby and Arby want to knock him down a peg, I'm not going to be too upset about that.
well, it's not like she doesn't know what my plan is with all her eavesdropping.
So Darby, you've walked your way into Gamar's palace after a long while of haven't been around. You're in his sauna room. You kind of step out, and the steam is just
course
barreling in, and you're
It's
just
always-
sweating.
Couldn't
And
have taken me to the
Gamar-
front door.
Oh no, it's because Gamar's in the sauna. He's there.
The
He's got his
fact-
towel over his lap.
Doesn't mean she couldn't
The
have taken me
fact
to the
that
front
Gamar
door.
is an actual like living human being on Earth, and the
Yeah.
fact that he's just obsessed. I just imagine as this old man obsessed with being in the sauna and the hot tub. Like it makes so much more sense now.
And he sits there and he kind of looks up at you, Darby,
Yeah.
and you've reconnected after so long. He smiles. Darby, oh, come and give Gamar a hug. It's been so long.
Well, not through the fault of your own, of course.
No, that was
Yeah.
your fault. You betrayed
Yeah.
me.
Uh-huh, yeah, that's how that works. Yeah.
Oh, it's funny how we have selective memory. How you like to gaslight me, Darby. I don't like that too much.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Well, I'm sure you know why we're here. Well, I'm here, not we. Sorry. Still getting used to being one person or two people.
Let me guess, it has to do with a certain somebody that you awokened. Isn't that right, Darby? You've gone and you fucked it. Everything was fine, great and dandy, and then you
Hmm.
went and stuck your nose where you weren't supposed to, and you fucked it.
Not like we knew what we were getting into entirely, just that it would save the world is all we understood.
Not everybody knows what they're going to fuck. They go on into the brothel and they pick the first one, and then she's got diseases. But they still suffer the consequences of them, don't they, Darby?
Sure,
It's exactly what you've done.
I guess.
And
Oh,
now
kinda
you
lost the
want to
analogy.
come to dear old Gamar for help.
Well,
Kiss the ring on my finger.
not so much coming to you for help, more so letting you know that he's back,
Oh, I was aware the moment you awoken him, Darby.
and I'm sure he's not going to stop at just us.
Ah, you're absolutely right, Darby. he's not going to just stop at you. He's not going to stop at Kalis 19. He's not going to stop at the other or any of the other ones. He's gonna do what he wants to do to all of them. It's what he does. He takes control because my coworker decided that his son should have a little bit more power. Should have a little bit more say in what goes on in the world. Ha! Oh, Gamar was against it though. But I should probably watch my tongue now. You never know who could be listening now, could we, Darby?
I don't want him just showing up and obliterating you like he
Oh,
did
he's
that
here
one
right
time.
now with me in the sauna. And as the smoke clears, you see Braska with a towel over him, just sitting there. Hey, Darby, what's going on, man?
Yeah, long time no
Been-
see.
Like, a day, something like
Not
that.
even. It's been. Well, I mean, time feels different in
Time-
here.
Different. I've come here. I got a full buffet from the casino. It was delicious, by the way. They had prime rib. But you know what? I have to complain one thing about casino prime rib. And this is to you, Gamar. So you take notes, put that on your vision board. Whenever you get prime rib at the casino, there's always someone behind the counter slicing the prime rib. But he doesn't give you a good slice of prime rib. He gives you a really small slice of prime rib. Like this big a slice of prime rib. Now, Daddy came to your buffet to eat your prime rib and lobster. And you want to give me this much prime rib? You know I'm going to get right back in line and get more prime rib. So just put a bigger slice of prime rib on there. Then everyone wins. That's what's wrong with this world here, Darby. That's what's wrong with Kalis. The prime rib is too small. It needs to be bigger.
You know, you had me up until that last statement. I was 100% on your side with that one. I didn't want to say anything when I worked here, job security and whatnot, but he is right. They don't give you a whole lot of food.
They don't. It's depressing. That buffet is $39.99 and this much prime rib, Darby.
I know.
$39.99. This much prime rib. It's depressing. First thing I'm gonna change now that I've taken over Gamar Enterprises. Hey, he's not mistaken, Darby. You see, Braska, Peter, and Mize, our business partnership decided to reflourish when he made himself known. He visited me, and let me know that he was interested in resuming a lot of it. So we've gone back into partnership with each other.
Business partnership.
Yeah, no, I call it, he's my bitch.
You hate the Archons?
Right?
I do hate the Archons.
I'm not there.
Yeah, he's not there.
That's
Can't say I expected that, given the way you spoke about the Archons.
Fuck the Archons, man. Gamar, okay. He's here right now. Gamar's here right now, so I'm gonna say this with love. Love and passion.
Of course, as you always do.
Love and passion. The Archons blow. We all agree to that. Gamar, do you blow? I blow. He admits it. He blows. A lot.
Man, I wish I had one of Jamie's inventions right now.
Blows so
Like-
much that it takes a hero to set things right.
Of course it
make
does.
things
Yes.
better.
Yes. of
So
course.
Gamar and I have worked a little partnership here, and he's gonna be a
Mhm.
good boy, and he's gonna be my bitch, and he's gonna do what I say, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep him around. You don't want to upset the status quo too much. The hero has their dumb sidekick, Gollum, that little fucking gremlin thing from the Black Cauldron, whatever his name is.
Don't know anything
Gurgi?
you're talking about.
Robin?
Like the bird?
Sidekicks. That's what Gamar is. My bitch.
Well,
I'm not particularly thrilled, Nebraska, with the title, but it's something that we can work out. Oh no! Bitch! You're gonna remember when I'm sliding in and out of you, bitch!
Gamar, times like this where I'm glad I don't work for you anymore.
Well,
Get a little bit of a
Yeah,
taste of
Mike.
your medicine right now.
might not change too much there, Darby, when the big cheese is back in power. When the big cheese is back in power, Gamar is back in power. You realize that, don't you, Darby?
Well,
Braska's just
Wonderful.
shaking his head. He just leaned back, shaking his head.
I think it more so depends on how your superior feels about you being back in power.
Nope. Only thing Gamar is good for? Sidekick.
Well, there you have
Add
it.
that to your vision board, Gamar. Best sidekick.
I hope you're keeping that very intently. He was very upset with us when we weren't.
I've already started the vision board. The very fact that my wait staff had sexy underwear and we didn't have running water was quite the thing, and I've had to correct it at this point.
Well,
no.
you know, we might disagree on a lot of fronts here, Braska, Peter, whichever you prefer, I guess. I don't really care.
You know what? Darby. Darby. There's only one thing I want you to call me. Friend.
Great. So, we might disagree on a lot of things. But, you know, at least you're making some positive changes here.
Honestly, best change I've made so far, the prime rib is now this big. That's the best.
And it's been a long time since I've been
Also,
here, but I need to
fucking
come back.
clean the pool. Do you know how much oil and sweat and grease is floating on the top of that swimming pool? Oh, disgusting. Someone need to skim that shit right off, and I got on it. Woo! First thing I did, I said, you need running water, but my God, your pool is greasy as hell. They cleaned it.
Okay.
Yeah, well, great chat. Great catching up with you, Peter. It's been like 3 hours, but, you know, good catching up with you, I suppose.
I'm gonna see you again in 2 days, buddy.
Well, 2.5.
How's
Something like
Pregnant doing? They ready? They decided to
Yeah,
they decided to
days.
turn the
Yeah.
goddess over? They done that yet? You guys made that decision yet?
No, they haven't done that.
Because I don't know. You know, Gamar and I've been talking, and you know, we're ready to fuck a goddess. In the not like sexual way, in the I'm gonna kill you kind of way. That way. Don't want to confuse anyone here.
Yeah. Whatever helps you rationalize it.
Yeah.
Great. I'm gonna go.
You haven't answered my question yet. Besides the sauna, we just got in the sauna. You can join us for a little bit if you want.
No, I kind of have things to attend to.
That's right. That's right. You got to convince a Tom to turn over a goddess. I get it. It takes time.
Yeah, something like that.
Hey, Gamar, give him the thing we discussed. This is for you. This is for all your friends. Give him each one. There's
No.
what, 5 of you? Yeah,
Yeah.
5 of you. Give all 5 of them. You see,
Okay.
Gamar, he just poofs into existence and he hands you a bunch of slips of paper. $5 off to the buffet. Advertised, bigger slices of prime rib.
Of course. Well, thank you for that, I guess. Don't know when we'll get around to using
Your
it.
friends are for Darby. Don't
So-
forget that.
Don't have direct contact here. Well, I guess I have indirect contact here, but I don't really come here anymore. But, you know, with the changes, maybe I'll need to come back one time.
Oh, and so you know, if you think that your little lady friend is the only one who's got access here, I also have access to her. So don't just watch yourself. I'm saying that with love,
Of course.
With
of
love.
course.
but watch yourself.
Always am.
You be cool, Slick. I'm gonna keep Masana going on. See you in 2 days, 3 days,
3 days.
2 days,
3 days.
3 days.
There's not
Maybe
been a
1
full
day. I don't know. I haven't quite decided.
I know time
Or the
flows
undead.
differently.
I should say the
so-
undead. I haven't quite decided yet. You know, they're undead. They're pretty unpredictable.
Well, we're already in the castle, but you know.
Wait, what? There's undead in the castle? Who fucking did that?
I'm just gonna leave. And
I-
we'll just turn around and walk
Hey,
out.
Josh and dude, come back! Who did that? Poser.
All
We weren't
right.
really ever friends.
Good news, bad news, and worse news.
Oh, great. This seems to be a trend.
Yes, it does. What do you want first?
Always the worst news.
All right. Worst news. Man, how do I want to order these? Well, probably that Gamar's not helping us. In fact, he's helping Braska.
Oh. Fantastic.
Well, more so, he's being forced to help Braska. but
I presumed. Yeah. Okay.
he is working under Braska now.
Great.
Kind of getting a little bit of what he had coming, so that's nice.
Yeah. Okay.
To some degree, but it's not great that he's
Sure.
on their side. Bad news. Lilith. Maybe be a little careful in the next coming forever.
Why's that?
He has access to you as well.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yes, it is. For both you and me. Because if you go
Yeah.
away, I don't even want to know what that's going to do to me and other me.
Well, I think you just go back to being normal you.
What does other him go back to being?
Probably dead.
Normal him? I don't know. Maybe you'll be like twins.
And then the good news, and I'll pull out 3 of the well, I guess 2 of the flyers, because I'll just keep
They're
the one.
coupons, thank
Yeah,
you.
the coupons. I'll hand them to Asriel and Ruma and go, here's a $5 off coupon to Gamar's buffet in his gambling hall. That's
Fantastic.
the good news.
Great.
With bigger slices of prime rib.
Yeah, with bigger slices, you know, like, I know we disagree with him, and he cannot get to power. But he has done a few good things that I would have done for the gambling hall.
Slices of prime rib.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Let's not give
I
him
know.
any credit
I'm
for
not
this.
saying I agree with him and that we shouldn't stop him. I'm just saying, you know, he has.
I
done
am
a
glad to
couple
hear
of good
that somebody
things.
who's caused you great pain and is getting to come up. That is a
Yes.
positive. We
No.
weren't fully relying on Gamar. It would have been a nice to have.
No,
So
it
we'll
wouldn't.
we'll move on
assumed
from
he
that.
would not help us even if this wasn't the
Fair
situation.
enough.
But
Fair enough.
it doesn't hurt to try.
We can go talk to the people in the city at least now.
Yeah, at least
and
we
now
have
at
that.
least we've learned information that Lilith is immortal.
And that Nebraska has Gamar at his beck and call as well.
Yeah. So we get a little bit of fact finding. So
we got some information on our enemy. More pieces to the game. Also, just as a smaller side note, he doesn't know where the undead came from either. In the
that
castle,
doesn't seem.
which I assume he probably just is being Braska, but he didn't know.
Interesting.
So
Very interesting.
Either things are getting out of control, or he just is playing dumb.
Well, either way,
Either are
it's not.
possible.
Yeah, it sucks for us.
Yeah, either one is not good. One is slightly worse than the other.
Good to know.
You guys ready to step back through the door to reality?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
We're
That
gonna
depends.
head
Is
over
Ruma
to-
done with the cat?
Rumor, are you done with the cats wherever you are?
Ruma tries to walk out with a cat.
Lilith lets you take a cat. Now you have a cat.
Can you just like
Yes.
adopt like a lot of these?
Rumor,
just
you
gonna
have
try to-
you have an orange tabby male.
Oh,
Name
Ruma will now
Skittle
try
Dude.
finding. He will now try to find cat armor for him. Skittle Dude.
Give
As
it little-
you step out with a cat, Tetra totally used to this. She's probably seen this happen a couple times. Jayla's just kind of like in shock and is like, "Do you guys always walk through strange doors that appear out of nowhere?"
Didn't appear out of nowhere. It was kind of summoned by me to a degree. I mean, more so summoned by my patron. But, you know. Do you think all this magic just comes from nowhere?
A lot of magic seemingly comes from nowhere for a lot of people.
Well, some of us
Magic
aren't
of
that lucky.
life's happiness comes from this cat. As he holds Skiddly Doos up.
Skiddly. Good name. Skiddly Doos.
And you have a cat. All right. I'm glad to see that we're taking this seriously, everyone.
If it's any consolation, there's probably about 200 or 300 more just wandering around in her dimension. So if you'd like one, I'm sure I can call her back and you can
No,
go
no, I'm
take
good.
one.
Thank you. I would like to go and talk to the guard and to be prepared for whatever is going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
And also,
Yeah.
don't
End
mind the
times,
other
you
me
might
that
as well
came
have a
through. That's a whole. We can explain that later.
Tetra says, honestly, I thought it was just a weird you thing going on. I didn't even think twice.
With the
it
multiple.
is really kind of a weird him thing going on.
It,
So.
It
it
is,
really
it
is.
is.
Yes.
Everyone except Jayla's just cool with it. They've been around you long enough, Darby.
Yeah. It's kind of more so for Jayla than anyone at that point.
To the captain of the guard.
Yes, to the guard or the mages, whoever you want to talk to first.
Who would you like to talk to first?
The gauges.
All right, we're going to the gauges.
Yep,
Going
we're
to
going to the
the
gauges. Yeah, we
Or
gotta go
the
get our,
Mard.
5-inch gauges put in.
We
Looking
might be
real
able to
good
see
for
the
battle.
Mard.
So
Martyr
you
gauges.
guys head downstairs, and as
Oh yeah, we have other friends downstairs.
yeah, Tetra and
Say hi to
Jalen
them
said,
too.
Joel and Dale and Nugs and Elise are all there. They're quite happy to see you. Joel's specifically very happy to see Marilli, who she also seems mildly satisfied to see them, though she's doing her best to hide it right now.
Okay.
Sure.
So we were in the market district when we watched the tower explode. I'm assuming everyone's alive because you're here.
We are,
Yes.
yes.
Some of us
Great.
slightly more
Hopefully.
than others apparently now.
I don't know what that means, but
Don't worry about it.
you walked by us without saying hi, so I'm gonna assume it has something to do with that.
I was about to say it wasn't me, but no, that was technically me now. That's weird to wrap
There's
my head
two of
around
them.
still. I'm
There's
figuring
two
that
of
one
them.
out.
So yeah, we're here to help any way we can. Dale's got a sword, I got a pizza cutter, Nugs got a beak,
Fantastic.
Elise's got a dagger. Ready to fight. Well,
Fantastic.
I'm not gonna fight, but everyone else is ready to fight.
I would hope not with the pizza cutter.
Great.
Seems like an
Well,
ineffective weapon.
Honestly,
Really,
we can use
honestly, all
help,
edge and no point.
all the help we can get, because so we're gonna need to walk and talk here, because we need to find the captain of the guard, and we're going to the mages first to see if we can enlist their help to fight off the undead horde coming here in 3 days.
Great. Why don't he kind of turns to Dale and Nugs and Elise? Why don't you guys go and start talking to some people and see if we can round up some people that can help defend this place? I'll go with the home slices here to talk to the mages, and we'll figure out what's going on there.
Sounds good to me.
Sure, I guess. Yeah.
And I'm not doing this to hang out with Marilli. I'm doing this because I care about this
You
city. 'Cause
did-
everyone-
Of course, yes.
You did need to clarify. By clarifying, you've now made it work.
Yes, you've now made it seem as if that is what you are doing.
I'm not.
Good for you, Joel.
Great,
Jalen
yes.
just pats his shoulder and goes, "Never change, Joel," and just walks out the door.
I should probably follow.
So with you is Tetra, Jayla, Marilli, and Joel. And Dale, Nugs, and Elise have gone elsewhere. They will meet
Okay.
you at the captain of the guard. Marilli says, hey, there's a possibility that Arnak could be by the tower, trying to assess the damages done there if the guard themselves hasn't roped it off in any way. Maybe we should start there.
It's the first place I would have looked.
Yeah. That sounds good to us.
So she kind of leads you back to the tower. You all follow. And a large collection of mages has gathered outside their once home. They're kind of rifling through the debris, pulling out their dead. Obviously, being a large tower that collapsed, a lot of people died in that. And they're kind of taking a stock of who's alive and who's dead in this terrible, horrific accident. And there seems to be one specific mage with a kind of chin-hugging, tight, brown beard. Looks to be in his late 40s. He's wearing ornate, silvered robes. He's kind of barking orders. And occasionally you see him mutter something and just cast a spell, and you watch some, fragment of earth just blast upwards as his frustration grows. That is Arnak.
I probably could have
Great.
guessed.
I guess we would approach him,
Yeah.
unless anybody else wants to.
You are allowed to approach
No.
him.
Go say hi.
We'll walk up.
Do you say anything, or do you
I
wait for him
guess
to
I would
notice?
ask Marilli if he has a title, like if we just call him Arnak, or if there's like a title.
Yeah,
that we-
he is the grand archmage of the association.
Grand Archmage Arnak, I presume.
Can't you see that I'm very busy right now? My entire people have been savaged within the last hour, and Marilli, and Asta. I'm glad to see you made it out.
Yeah,
Your
we
friend's
were-
here to help with the gathering of our dead before the city is overrun.
Ruma's
Uh,
just gonna off volunteer, knowing that people can talk business, but Ruma's got muscles.
That's right.
So, Ruma, you're gonna go help them dig people up.
Yeah.
All right, so Ruma, you head over and you start assisting some mages and lifting some plaster and wood and stuff.
As sad as it is to have to ask you for help during this time, but we plan on staying and fighting in 3 days, and we could really use who's left to help us.
You plan on fighting hordes of undead,
Well,
an untold number that some crazy in the sky spoke about.
we've done
You want my
that.
help, my mage's help.
Yes, I do, because that same person did this. I'm
You're
gonna
right.
point to the tower.
You're absolutely right, my friend. Now, there you go. Have at it. Your mages lie out there in the rubble. There are currently 400 dead.
How many?
Would you
do
like to know
have
how
alive?
many I had in the association? How many studied under our tutelage?
Sure.
650. And we're still missing 100 of them.
Well, if you do uncover any able body or find any able body that are willing, obviously we're not going to force you to fight, because why would we? You've already been through enough. It's a lot to ask. We understand. We're just saying, if you don't want this to be the rest of Elyssia, we could use some help.
I do not want to see this happen to the rest of Elyssia. Or anybody else, for that matter. What say you, Marilli? You've always been quiet. An exceptional student. Do I help them? Does the association do what the association has always done? Worry about themselves. Azrael speaks for me. Well, the young lady that the big floating sky man declares is our goddess has declared. You speak for her. I'll send you 50 mages.
Huh.
If I can get more, I will send more, including myself. I'd like to wipe the smirk off the bastard who did this.
As would,
Don't blame
as
you.
would we all.
Yeah, I think all of us would.
You'll have to get in line, but we appreciate that. 50 is more than I could have asked for, so...
Who is leading the charge against this? Rallying to
I guess-
defend to the city. Who's in charge of it?
I guess we would be, if we had to name a person, I guess I'd look at Marilli to see if she'd want to take up the mantle, but if not, then I'd just
Kind
kind
of
of say
retreats back.
we're a troop. We're not a single leader type of group.
So-
As this... Oh, go ahead, Darby.
If you see, and I'll point to Ruma, if you see him go in, probably means we're fighting.
Good to know. Tetra hears a lot of this, and you see her take her hat and pull it off, kind of crinkle it under her fists, crushing it, thinking to herself for a moment. She steps forward and kind of places a hand on your shoulder, Azrael, and says, "It's okay, I've got this one. Arnak, I'll go ahead and take control of this one. Since it seems my king brother is not available to lead these armies, then I will, as Tetra Vanatir, Sovereign Princess of Pragla."
The fuck?
And where did this come from? This whole time, you've just been keeping that from us?
Ruma basically drops a dead body and
Yeah, Arthur
Ruma's
is
just,
just
like,
like
holding
a stone.
Ruma's just holding something up for someone to crawl out and just lets go.
What a reveal!
It's not something that I like to talk about, considering I generally abandoned the name to pursue helping the Dusk Elves where I could.
Noble cause, noble cause.
Especially after, since our Lord Father was the one that ordered a large number of their extermination many years ago. But right now, I think the name is going to hold a bit more than my feelings on the situation. So for now, I will reclaim the name Vanatir if it means there'll be someone who will listen, or someone that someone will listen to. Very well.
Very
Goddess! She work for you? I am not a goddess. The party speaks for me. Then party. Does she speak for you?
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disagree with her.
Very well. Lady Tetra Vanetier, Sovereign Princess of Pragula. You have access to 50 mages at least. Where will you have us meet? The barracks. Sounds good. It's where the true armies will be and the guard will be anyways. Why not have one big happy family? We will see you there in 2 days then. And Arnak returns to helping retrieve his dead. Well, I did not want that to go that way, but it's all good.
Seems we're all making sacrifices.
Yeah.
Who would have known? We've been
Not
friends
many.
with
No,
a
the pieces
princess
together.
and
You know-
a goddess all this time.
Joel just goes, I knew.
Of course you did. Now, I
Well,
know
yeah.
Dr. Watts isn't here to make fun of you for being a bad treasure hunter, but this
Tell
does
him all
seem to
about it.
answer some of those questions.
I am an excellent treasure hunter. I was just much more concerned about helping the Dusk Elves than I was about actually finding treasure.
Again, Dr. Watts isn't here. Someone has to say it.
You could explain it to him.
You could also just talk to Dr. Watts through your other person. and
Exactly.
That's
tell
true,
her-
actually.
You
Other
could be
me
actively
does have
talking
that.
to Dr. Watt. You could be actively giving him a play-by-play.
You are
of his
our,
entire
you are a
conversation.
walkie-talkie for your sending spell.
Actually, he doesn't need to
Trust.
talk to him. Other Darby already knows what's
Yeah.
going on. He could just communicate that to Dr.
Like,
Watt.
I just know.
Right, we
Brendan,
are.
you
You
have
are.
to, like,
You are
take
literally.
notes about conversations that are happening so you can relay them in other sessions.
That'd be so cool. You're a living sending spell for us
I really am until other me or me
Dies.
disappears. Yeah.
until Arby dies.
Darby.
Until me or Arby die.
So you guys still have Desmond to talk to. Let's take a quick 5-minute break. I'm gonna refill my water real quick, and
Yeah.
we'll be back at, let's say, 3 or 9:30, 9:36. We'll do 3 minutes.
See you in 6 hours.
Yeah,
see
see you
you
in
at
6
see you at
hours.
3 a.m. everybody. We're back. We're here.
Yay!
And
Little.
I've
little-
watered
okay.
and urinated. Yay!
Okay.
You know, I was
like
thinking
how you
this.
phrased it.
Considering how our Elyssia stream started, which was me not realizing Brendan had gone to air and me talking about how badly I had to pee for like a 5 minutes straight. I feel like when this campaign ends, we should just end it and like sign off and just leave it up. And I'm gonna talk about how badly I need to pee, so that it just bookends itself really nicely. I was thinking
you
about
go.
that today.
I
Things
gotta
I think about.
I gotta go rewatch episode 1.
I rewatched our first like 4 or 5 episodes not that long ago, and they're like mega cringy. I think all of it's mega cringy. I'm sure all of it's mega cringy, but like the specifically first couple episodes felt especially cringy.
yeah. Oh, there's some character choices that I was making. Wow, like why did I like take
Yeah,
myself?
yeah, like
seriously?
like remembering we gotta hide these bodies, and it's like we have never cared about that after that episode at all. We shoved bodies into like crates and stuff. I was like, why did we do this? It was just left it there.
I'd say episode 3 with the introduction of Pip and Squeak was pretty good and entertaining. That had some good moments in it, but like episodes 1 and 2 are really cringy.
There's a lot of weird decisions we've all made.
Just a lot of just being on stream, and you know, now I just don't care anymore. Now you get, you know, you have Braska. That's what's happened. That's what being on stream does to you. It makes Braska. Anyways,
Clearly, I haven't been on stream long enough.
yeah. So anyways, you guys have talked to Arnak, and with everyone, you are now making your way to where the guard is stationed with Jayla, or not Jayla, excuse me. Well, I guess Jayla would know where it is, but Tetra's the one that kind of leads the way for that. And you arrive there. It seems that General Desmond, as his name is, has amassed some of the soldiers. There seems to be about 30 that they're currently trying to outfit and do some initial planning. You can kind of see that on one of the tables, they've thrown down some maps of the city and starting to map out different districts and areas that are like more fortified that might need less defenses compared to others where they might need more soldiers and stuff. And in the center of it all is a well armored, dignified man in his late 50s with a sword at his side and a gruff, manly voice. That I am not doing justice right now to, because I have quite the higher pitch voice, and I attempt to make these voices in an attempt to sound quite manly.
Why is Desmond talking?
Yeah, why is he like talking about himself in the third
about
person
his
like this?
voice?
Kind of weird that he would do
He's
that
very
while
self-
making
he
battle
has a lot of
plans and the like.
I'm
Securities.
incredibly self-conscious as a general.
You know, understandable, I guess.
Tetra walks in. Hey, Desi, what's going on? Do not fucking call me that.
General Desi.
Yeah. General
Gosh.
Desi, at your service.
God has blessed me.
Really,
Oh,
Morelli,
bless him.
Morelli, bless him, please, yeah.
Morelli
Same
just,
brain.
her arm just like sags, and she's just like, oh, can we not make these jokes?
Sorry, the opportunity presented itself. It's hard to say now.
Are you looking to enlist? There's a sign-up sheet over there. You get sold. That's it. You don't even have enough armor to go around for everyone, considering that the king sent most of the forces to Dalta 2 weeks ago.
Why did he even do that in the first place?
Gorg attacks or some bollocks.
I don't know if I believe that,
I don't
but no, we're not here to sign up. We're here to see if you're going to be here to support the town in 3 days. With your
What the fuck does it look like I'm doing here? Pissing on daisies?
Yes, mostly.
Well, you are talking about your own voice in the third person, so.
That did not happen. That was a strange aside.
He answered in the voice.
Answered in character.
Your princess and goddess demand your service.
I know she's a princess, and he points at Tetra. Don't give a fuck about her. She abandoned the name. Went off on her little treasure hunts, playing with her posies and her dollies and her gemstones. And fuck all about goddess, you know. You talking about this one right here, with the fancy little magic robes and the blue hair? Smells like...
Uh-oh. What is that? Oh. Discord crash. That's what happened. Love to see it.
Uh-oh, he's back.
There we go. Hi. Discord decided it wanted to update itself, apparently, it looks like, and/or just crashed outright.
Cool,
All right. So did we lose the stream?
No, but it stopped at smells like.
Go ahead, repeat yourself, Azrael.
No, it was you.
Yeah.
Smells
me?
like chip
Yes.
beef.
Oh, smells like chip beef over
There we go.
gravy,
That was
not
weird.
the good kind.
It was interesting.
Well,
I've seen Discord crash like
your
that.
opinion of them doesn't really matter. We're going to have about, what do you say, 50 mages
Yes.
from the tower coming
At
to
least
defend as
50
well.
mages.
They're going to be arriving here at the barracks in 2 days. And we also will be here with hopefully, and I stress hopefully, an army, a full army of chickens.
Well, you got me excited when you said full army and then you said of chickens. Cowards then, we're going to run away.
No,
literal chickens.
Actual birds.
Yes.
Tell me your friend is currently on drugs right now.
No, he's being completely
Not at all.
serious.
Not at all, Desi. I'm a Princess Vaniteer again. I'm going to run this show, so I need you to put on your big boy panties, and we're going to get ourselves armed up and ready to go and defend this city.
I don't suppose you have chicken-sized armor at all?
Fuck no.
Okay, well, just making sure, because there will be an army of chickens coming. That's not a joke.
Well, I hope your army of chickens is here in 3 days, because I've only got about 200 men that are capable of fighting to defend this city.
Well,
but
that's
yeah.
200 men, 50 mages, and
However
a
many
bunch of
chickens. Yeah.
And the champion of Highwater.
That's right.
Well, yeah. No.
And the goddess.
And a
Yep.
pirate.
And a gambler. And a really big chicken.
I don't see the really big chicken.
Well, he's off going to get the chickens.
He's getting his army.
Yeah, he's getting the army of
Oh,
chickens.
God. Is it one of them guardian fowls that are dead?
He's not
No,
dead,
he,
but yes.
he is the only one that's not, but yes.
Fuck me!
You get a real ragtag group of people here.
Let me guess, next you're gonna tell me that there's a pizza connoisseur, a former mercenary, a child, and another giant chicken capable of helping me.
Well,
Yes, that is exactly what we're going to tell you.
If it helps, there's also another one of me that may or may not
Yes.
be around still.
What does that mean?
exactly what he said.
Exactly what
There's another him.
another
Fuck
me.
me! Well,
This is going to be a battle with soldiers you've never had to deal with before.
you've never had to deal with the Kanagi twins.
No,
You're right, I haven't.
All right then. Princess Vamlet here. The army's yours. We've had no contact from King Alistair within the last 2 hours. Since the bloody fucking castle was overrun with undead. Not even any messengers, no carrier pigeons. Don't even know if he's alive.
That sounds like a strangely coordinated zombie attack.
Yeah,
To
especially
to silence all, for them to realize to get rid of all communications. How would that even be possible unless it was planned from the inside?
Tetra is thinking along the same lines that you are, Azrael. Yeah, I don't like the sounds of this thing. My brother could be a bit hot-headed, but he was at least communicative.
Should we try and do something about that before we do something about the army that comes?
It would
Well, the
probably
castle's
help.
quite big, and who knows what's going on in there. You might not be able to make it out to the battle before it starts.
That's my fears. My question was, is it even worth it?
Tetra kind of assesses who's around her. Jayla, you're a champion of high water. You think you could lead our, or help our, friends through a castle to save my brother while I strap on the big boy pants and lead an army? I don't know, guys. Do you think we can storm a castle, fight some undead, save the king, and make it back before the undead invade?
I got nothing better to do.
Yeah, I mean, unless a gambling hall is open, I can't think of anything else I'd be doing.
There's a gambling hall just down the road.
No.
Is it open right now?
No, it's not open!
Well, see, there we go. I have nothing better to do.
God, it's like dealing with the Kanagi twins.
You keep saying that like you want us to
Like,
ask.
we
but
know
I'm
who
not
they
going-
are.
And I'm not going to ask you about them.
No, I don't want you to. It's a terrible thing to think about.
You sure seem to want to talk about them a lot.
But it's because they've deeply affected me.
That's great. Don't know who they are. We can leave it at that. Don't need to know who they are.
Well, you've got your 200 soldiers, 50 mages, 1 giant chicken, and whoever else you bring on this ragtag little adventure of yours, princess. Yeah, that's all I ever wanted.
Army of chickens.
Army of chickens. So it sounds like you guys are going to be going into the heart of it all.
Yep.
That's what we do.
It's what we do. Maybe we can figure out what's going on with these undead too, and who knows? Maybe there's a way to stop them.
Yeah, if Braska really doesn't know what's going on there, maybe there is some other
No.
nefarious thing that
Lead to someone else doing it?
This
or-
isn't a Braska thing?
he seemed to
No.
tell Darby that he didn't know who started the undead in the castle.
I didn't really press him on the matter. He didn't. I mean, he was blown away by the fact that there were zombies in the castle already.
I will say, for a guy who's hell-bent on seemingly killing all of us, he does really like to leave you guys alive for some reason.
Well, according to him, we're his friends.
That's a strange thought to have.
I mean, we are the ones who brought him back.
Well, he's let me put it this way. He cares less about ruling the world than he does about making sure
Everyone
the
like
world
him.
loves him.
That sounds incredibly healthy.
Yeah.
Oh, the help.
Yep.
And definitely not like a toxic way to view the world. No, not at all.
All right. I'll hold the fort down. I'll do some talking with Dale, Desmond here, and Arnak, and we'll set something up. The
Fantastic.
question becomes, what do we do with Goddessay over here?
Well, I feel like, what does Miss Goddess want to do?
Yeah, it's really up to Merle. That's
She
what
wants
she
to
wants
stay
to
and
do.
fight, or if she wants to leave, that's kind of up to her.
Well, I could go on a wall and start casting fireballs at people, but if I get shot with an arrow, it's not going to really help anyone.
Fair enough.
So, I'm going to hold myself here in the city and heal people as need be. I have some healing magic that I've learned since joining the association and coming into my own, and that'll probably be the best bet that I have.
Fair enough.
Try to
One
stay
thing I will
low.
say, yeah, I say innocuous. Hood up. Try to disguise yourself.
Yeah, we're in a disguise, whatever you got.
You see her cast a spell, and she looks like Joel again. I keep doing this.
I mean, who's really gonna go
Or-
after
It's
Joel?
me!
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it is, Joel.
I don't know how to feel about that because Merle's voice is coming out of my body, and I like that voice, but not. I'm gonna leave, and he just leaves.
It's a good thing other me has the same voice and all that.
Yeah, that's not at all confusing.
No, well, I mean maybe for you guys, but not for me.
Hey, at least he has no eye and missing fingers, so you can tell them apart.
Yeah, he's visually.
Oh, he
different.
didn't heal? I thought he healed.
No,
up.
he still looks
No.
like garbage.
He's still decrepit.
Yeah.
That's why it's funny to have him go with Dr. Watts, because that's a whole thing to deal with
That's
for him.
true.
Decrepit
He
Darby.
has to deal with all of that. And the fact that I'm still here.
He's gonna come back like loving that, and then he's gonna like the new Darby's gonna have like a cybernetic eye and all these cool
You just-
upgrades.
You could have.
Make
I
a
got the
cutout
gist
that
of
whole
it
time.
though. Yeah.
Oh, I cut out. Dang it.
Yeah.
I was just saying he said he's gonna end up loving the other version of Darby, and he's back with like a cybernetic hand and a cybernetic eye and
all the
these cool
augment.
upgrades.
He's just gonna be
You'd be
turned into a
sad when
cyborg.
And one by
Zero Darby
one-
goes away.
And one by one, our augments that Jamie has used on us just start disappearing, and we don't know why.
In the
I'll
middle of
keep
combat.
track.
Yeah. In the middle of combat, Ruma just suddenly loses 2 AC or whatever he's getting right now.
That's awesome.
Ezreal, all of a sudden the bullet just stops coming out of the gun. That's so weird. You gotta actually put a bullet in there now.
All right. So you kind of have your forces. Aster's also there to help defend the city. She's still been hanging out. She kind of flutters up. She's like, I can help fight too. And Desmond's just like, fuck me, a fairy.
You're getting everything and anything at this point.
What's
Right.
next? An oxen with a great sword. Just this dude pulls up with his oxen with a great sword in its mouth, and he immediately turns it away and walks away.
Yes, the sight gags. I love it so much. This guy's the best. Could you like say like what's next? Like a giant dragon that's going to help us have that.
Why would I say that? Meepo's in Olin. He ain't gonna come help us.
He's a little occupied with his mage coin, Drangle coin business.
Fuck know what that is. Sounds like the worst.
Well, you know,
It is.
if
It
you,
is.
if
It
you'd
is.
like to get
It
in on
is
the
the
ground floor.
I will usher
I would
Darby.
rather rub my taint over a cheese grater.
Oh no.
I
Well,
will usher Darby away as we walk towards the castle to thank the king.
Yes,
Hmm.
you, the three of you, and Jayla begin marching your way towards the castle as everyone else prepares for battle. And Jamie, Sentinel, and Darby Part 2
Darby.
make their way. Arby, I keep forgetting to call him Arby.
Darby
Make their
too.
way to, whatever you call it, the hill where they're gonna talk to the Council of Chickens and get your army to defend the city. As you both, or the three of you, four of you, I guess, with Jayla, are approaching the castle, you see that there's quite a bit of smoke pillowing from it, and the panic in the city is starting to set in. And as I said, this was probably going to be a bit of an early session, so we'll go ahead and stop from there.
Oh
For
man.
our
Ruined.
lovely audience who's watching right now,
Yeah.
the 3 that you see on camera with me will be the 3 that you'll probably see here next week. And then you'll be seeing Arby and Jamie and
Other
Sentinel the week
me.
after. And we're going to be alternating going forward as the party is split and doing different things before they
Ooh.
reconjoin. So look forward to some interesting and different dynamics that are going on.
I'll need to make a clone of
Shenanigans.
Darby just so I don't mess up any like my
Darby.
HPs and stuff between everything.
Very cool.
Yeah, you probably want to make a copy of him
Yeah.
or
Which I
Yeah,
do
we
have
can-
my planning copy.
So
I can put
exciting.
another one.
Very
Yeah,
cool
we-
party split, man.
Yeah, we got what? Paladin, Rogue, Warlock, and then Warlock, Artificer, and Barbarian.
Yep.
Within our NPC with us for this.
Yeah,
one.
and Jayla is also a paladin, so
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get double the paladins.
double
Ooh,
paladin.
all the
Double
smiting happening.
paladin.
She's
And-
you're a what? Vengeance paladin, Matt?
Yeah, he's venge.
Yeah.
And then she's a
the
Watcher's
best
paladin.
paladin.
Also, I have a cat named Skiddly Doos.
Yes.
Yep.
Skiddly doos.
Yeah, he has his pet cat Skiddly Doos now.